When you begin to care less about what society views as success, then you begin to redefine what you believe is successful. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I define success and how this concept has helped to shift my mindset about failure. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to begin to take steps onto how to redefine your own success so you never feel like you're failing again. Welcome back to another video. My name is Christina and I help empower people on their spiritual and healing journey. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're notified of when I post a new video, because it could be that video that could literally change your life. So with that being said, let's get onto the video. When I first started to wake up and I went through my spiritual awakening, I began to see the world for what it was. And when you are a mother, what happens is actually the brain changes. The way you view the world actually changes because of how you now go from me, just me and my awareness, to we with me and a baby. So the brain actually physically changes. So then your view of the world changes. So with that and with my spiritual awakening, it just went hand in hand. And then I kind of woke up to the corruption of the world. You begin to see the truth, see through the veils of how the systems in place in society are keeping us trapped in certain systems and certain mindsets. One of scarcity, one of lack, one of fear, and not letting us know the true nature of our power. So with that all being said, so that means we live in a world that defines success in a certain way. And this concept of success makes every other person feel like they're a failure, and it's only achievable for the 1%, because that's what it is. It's the 1% that is up there, and that's what must be achieved. You must be this top billionaire person because that defines success. So particularly in Western society, I would say mainly across the whole world really, we live in a capitalistic world. That means everything is run according to wealth. Everything is run according to money and economics and status. This means wealth and money defines how successful you are. This means if you don't have money, if you don't have some kind of billionaire job or a status that is actually deep rooted in your identity, a professional job that brings in you lots of money, then that means you are not successful. And in order to achieve this success, this means we have to hustle, work hard, working to the bone. Grinding is another word for that. Having high academic achievements in order to attain some kind of professional status, then that'll make you feel like you are a success. Because what are we trying to say? We are trying to say that I have achieved something, so that means I must be succeeding in life. So when we are programmed, because this is what this is a program telling us, well, this is what you must do in order to seek success, in order to find success, then we tend to internalize success as our happiness. And then we are looking for things that will make us happy. So that next big paycheck, that professional job, that will make me happy, because then I have some kind of success status and will make me feel like I am ultimately good enough and worthy by then and accepted by society. And just recently, I'd say the last week, I've had a whole mindset shift when it comes to defining what success actually means and how you can begin to redefine what success means for you. So one day when I was driving my son to the childminder, I dropped him off and I was driving back. And then I got lost in a thought, as you do when you're driving. You kind of go on autopilot and you go into your own trance. So I was thinking about my son's childminder. She just recently got married. She owns a really successful childminding business. She's very busy. She's got really nice car. She has her own house and she's much younger than me. I think she's like her mid-20s, I think. So when I was driving back, I said to myself, she would actually be described as somebody who was quite successful. She's done all right for herself. And in that moment, when I was thinking about myself, I felt like, well, I'm complete kind of opposite. I have nothing to show for my success. And I think that is the thing sometimes. We feel like we have to have some external thing to show our success. So then we can feel that validation in all these objects or this money, these materialistic things, because then that will make us just feel like we are good enough. People might respect us and society will accept us and respect us. And so I was just thinking to myself, I'm actually not even bothered. I used to get really triggered when I would see somebody really successful and who's doing really well for themselves, and I would think, oh, I'm still stuck in the same old situation I was 10 years ago. I've got nothing to show for it. Like, my bank balance is like so shockingly bad. All of these stories that I would tell myself, and it's just me getting triggered by like my own self-worth and money blocks. This meant I was always in victimhood. But then I had this kind of shift recently, and it's nothing I actually did. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything you can actually do, no physical steps you can do when it comes to changing your mindset around defining success. It's an inward experience when you've got to go to those limiting beliefs about yourselves, the programming, and deconditioning yourselves and deprogramming all of those ideas about what success actually means, and sit with yourself, whether that's journaling or whatever that may be, to reveal to yourself what it is that society has programmed you with, or maybe an experience that you went through that told you, well, you won't be successful. Like, oh, being an artist, that's not success. That's not going to put money on the table, because that's a creative job or career, whatever you want to call it. So it's an internal thing you have to do. You have to go within. And when I began to care more about my own values, what I cared the most about, I stopped caring about how society defines success. I stopped caring about the bank balance. I stopped caring about the car. I stopped caring about the fancy house and that means I'm successful, and the professional job that you must have. And I stopped caring what other people thought if I wasn't successful. And what I did was actually told myself out loud during that car journey, I tapped myself on the heart and I said, well, I have God, I have my spirituality, and to me, that is the ultimate success. And nobody can take that away from me. So when I began to choose what really mattered to me, and I really, really value, which is my spirituality and my connection to the divine, that's the true flex for me. How connected to source I am, and how I can lead my life based on spiritual practices and always go within rather than seeking external validation. And that's what I define success as. And so I no longer think myself as a failure. I actually see people that are really successful but are not attuned to the true nature of reality and have lost their divinity because they're blinded by their ego and the validation. I see them as the failure. And that's not in a judgmental way. That's just me saying that they have not awoken yet to their true divine potential that they are. Because our wounds, our ego, our limiting beliefs, all that we've been conditioned with through the patriarchy and the external matrix has blinded us to our divinity, to our connection to source, and has created the illusion of separateness and duality. So all it means is me coming back home to my heart and know that I hold the true wealth, which is divine creation within me. And that is fucking powerful, and that is success. You don't need the fancy car. Just sitting with yourself in meditation is so divinely powerful. So if you are watching this for the first time and you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? I invite you right now to go and sit in meditation and see how you feel by the end of it. It can be 5 minutes, but it's always an inward journey. That's how you get to your limiting beliefs and how you've been programmed. That's the internal matrix, as I call it. How the external matrix has programmed the subconscious, because that's what it's done. And then we internalize all that, those wounds and everything, and it becomes the internal matrix. So this is just how I define success now. I no longer consider myself as a failure, and I hope this video has really helped you. If you have been seeing yourself as a failure, because you're not, it's only because you are comparing yourself to how someone else defines their own success. A man with nothing could define themselves as successful. Just think of Yeshua. Just think of Buddha. Just think of all these enlightened beings, these ascended masters. Do you think they had trillions of things and wealth? No. So this means just going within and really deciding what you value. And don't forget to check out this video next, where I share what the internal matrix is and how I broke free of that. And I will see you over there. Much love.